Lisa LaBelle, everyone!
Okay, we're on. I'm tethered. I'm tethered by the headphone wire. Hello, world. Hope you're doing good, even if you're tethered. Maybe you're tethered to a headphone wire right now, too, listening to this podcast. And that's okay. That's how we hear. That's how we hear. It's freaking cold outside. Holy smokes. It was 24 degrees last night in Georgia. Good Lord. I said, husband, it's cold. We had a spider living outside of our bedroom window since August. And I said to my husband, Spidey, Dad, it's so cold, Spidey, Dad. Everything dying out there is so cold. Jack Frost came early, mother truckers. Jack Frost came in on fall. He snuck up on fall. And he freaking rammed fall over and was like, now it's my turn, bitch. Jack Frost is blowing that dry air into all of our lungs. Our noses are dripping. We're all freezing tatas. God. That's how it is. That's what's going on around here. So I hope you're staying warm, and I hope you have milk in your refrigerator and some bananas. Put those bananas in your refrigerator. Eating a cold banana. That's satiation station. That's what I'm talking about. So good. Of course, I'm always thinking about food, guys. I'm a little nervous. I am nervous right now because I'm waiting for a phone call from my doctor, Dr. L. And so I'm going to probably have to cut the podcast when I get that call. And I've been so anxious about it. I think 2 of my chakras aged about 2 years waiting for this phone call. I've been waiting for over a week for this phone call. So that's what's going on in my world right now. Deep breaths. And also being cold, man. God, I'm just, this is a new feeling to me. Being cold in 30 and 20 degree weather. You know, when I was growing up as a child, as a little, my mom, she bought these, we grew up in Pennsylvania. She bought these PJs for my brother and me. And they had these footsies in it. It was like a onesie. You got your sleeves, you got your legs, and then you got your feet. So you'd be walking around like sliding all over the place inside your footsies, and the bottom of them was plastic. There was no grip in those Bichons. You were sliding all over the freaking place. But I would sweat so much. Not like fever, just like my hands and my feet. I get red. And my mom, she had to cut the footsies out. And then when we would go out and play in the snow, I'd wear a tank. She'd send me out there in a tank top. And I didn't get sick. That's just how my body rolled with it. I think we got some of that Viking blood. And then, but really, I found out I was like that all the way up until just recently. You go outside in 17 degree weather and you're wearing a tank top. You see a woman walking down the street in 20 degree weather with a tank top on. You're going to make small talk with her? No, I don't think so. There's vibrations and heat being made inside of her body. She's able to stay warm. Yeah, and then I come to find out I had high tea, but it was okay. It was all good. Everything was fine with it. Just a little more than a normal woman. And then now that I'm getting older, my tea is leveled out to a normal woman degree. And now I know what it's like when those girls wear those chunky sweaters in the winter. I was always like, I want to wear a chunky sweater in the winter without my face turning red like a freaking tomato. And now when I go outside, it is 30 degrees and I'm freezing. I feel like a cold little bitch. So I'm just trying to deal with that. Feeling cold. That's what's going on, man. What else is going on? What else is going on? You know what's going on? I've been thinking about the sun. The sun up there. It's we're talking heliophysics. Physics? Did I say? I think I stopped before the S. Physics. Those heliophysicists out there are talking about the sun all the time. The sun's on their brain. I got that little heliophysicist in me. It just, boom, a gamma ray shot up my peach and boom, gave me a little heliophysicist. Now I'm thinking about the sun. I don't know what that means, but what I'm saying is, did you know the sun, it's a white ball. It's a white ball. And it doesn't look that way from Earth. But you go outside of Mother Earth's stratosphere, you go up like you're coming up out of the water, and then you part the clouds in the atmosphere, and you go up into that microgravity, and you look up, and it's a white ball. Where's the sun? It's not yellow. It's not orange. It's that white ball over there. Up yonder. Why is it white? I didn't know it was white. The sun's up there just being a white ball. And that's wild. The reason why the sun is a white ball is because it's really friggin' hot, man. It's like 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm not changing that to the metric, to the Celsius, because President Carter, he tried to make the metric system, he tried to replace our system with the metric system years ago, and they just voted him out of office. So here we are. I'm just going to go with Fahrenheit. So the sun is over or about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really, really hot. And I think it's super uncomfortable. And it's like a perimenopausal woman up there just a constant state of perimenopausal woman. I think it needs some HRT. It's so hot. It emits so much light to the intensity that it glows. The radiation curve that's happening, it spans across all the spectrums, all the visible color spectrums. We're talking red, orange, yellow, blue, violet. You got the short waves and the long waves. And it does that all at once, simultaneously. That's why it looks white. And then when those rays, all that hits Earth is like, hey, hang on. We need to figure this out. We're not going to let this hit us all at once. Earth looked up, it's like, you see that sun up there trying to shoot that whole color spectrum at us? I don't think so, boy. I don't think so. We got something called the Rayleigh. It's the Rayleigh scattering effect. it scatters the sunlight. I want to get this right. Okay, so the Rayleigh scattering effect is where Mother Earth is like, I'm going to take some of the short wavelengths, those long wavelengths, and we're going to mix them up. And now I'm going to explain this to you in a way that you're going to remember. All right. You got shorties and you got talls. And my friend C, she calls tall people talls. And we're going to go with that. So the colors of the spectrum that are the short wavelengths, we're talking ultraviolet. That's your shorties. That's me. All right, I'm an ultraviolet. I got your blue and your violet. And that's the short wavelengths. Then you got the long wavelengths. You got your red and your orange and your red, orange, yellow. Okay, and where those are the talls. So the Rayleigh scattering, it takes those short wavelengths, the UV, the shorties, the blues and the violets, and it scatter those big shones. Now the longer wavelengths come through. We're talking red, orange, yellow, and I think you got red, orange, yellow. That's what you got. That's what you got. And they're coming through Earth. That's why the sun looks yellow or orange and not white. Like how the sun actually looks up in outer space. Did you know that? That is wild. Some people say that human beings emit light. Like you got Gina over there. Gina's like, I saw Violet. She got an aura about her. She's got this bluish aura, this bluish glow. I saw it. It's like, no shite, Gina. That's just physics. Everybody is emitting some sort of light. Because an object that is not at absolute zero it emits thermoradiation, electromagnetic radiation, and human beings, the one that they particularly emit is the infrared. You got those infrared night goggles. So Gina's right in that she saw Violet's aura, maybe, but Gina thinks that she unlocked some other dimension of Earth. And when all this time we're like, Gina, it's just physics. We knew all about it. Everybody glow. Now the thing is, though, if you see someone walking down the street and they're glowing white like the sun, like the 10,000 Fahrenheit degrees on, then I would suggest give them a pizza, wish them luck, and then get the frick out of there because they're about to become a supernova. They're really hot. It's too much. It's too hot. You see that white glow? Get out. That's all I'm saying. I bet you didn't think about all that. It's mind freaking blowing. That's what I'm saying. What else is going on, guys? Okay, holy smokes. Interruption central. Sorry, guys. All right, my camera went out. My doctor called. Whew. Okay, so we're back. Here we are. What was I talking about? Pterodactyls. We were talking about pterodactyls. Maybe we weren't, but we are now. I was thinking about pterodactyls. I went to make a note of my pterodactyl bit, and I started spelling it the way that it sounds like a normal human being would. And then I come and find out that pterodactyl begins with a P and ends with a US. And that just really chaps my ears, man. Oh, why? Why? God. Well, thanks for tuning in with me today. I really appreciate it. And I think about you guys sometimes and what are you doing when you're listening to this podcast? Jessica out there, she told me she cleans when she listens to the podcast. And what are you doing? Are you in your car? Are you driving to work? Are you driving back from work? Are you driving to go pick your kid up from school? Are you going to your dad's or your friend's house? Or maybe you're going to the park with your dog. Take your dog for a walk and you and your dog buddy are listening to the pod. Are you a business owner? Like, what are you guys doing out there? I'd love to hear from you guys. And hopefully soon I can open up some form of communication, a website or a phone line where you guys can call in or send in videos and notes and things like that, because I've mentioned this before, but on social media, I get so much smut and Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that. So much scams and smuts, and that's my inbox on every single social media platform. So I don't answer anything. I don't even go into them. I don't even look at it. So if you guys have sent me messages on TikTok, Instagram, X, I'm not getting them. I apologize, but I'm not getting them. I look at comments on YouTube because I don't get an inbox full of smut and scams on YouTube. So I look at that. But hopefully I got something here soon that we can communicate with each other. That'd be really great. And thanks again for your support out there. And I sometimes some weeks I get a little down because I'm not sure if what I'm doing is, what you guys want. I talk about the things that I love and that I get so excited about, and I aim to make it joyful for you guys to get some kind of laugh out of it, maybe learn maybe a thing or two. And that's my goal. That's my hope. And just to get better every day, even just 1% better every day, and keep working towards just getting better at the craft for you guys. And sometimes I don't know if it's working, if I am or not, or if you guys are liking it or not. So thanks for your encouragement and thanks for your support out there, guys. I came across a clip, Mitch Hedberg. If you guys don't know who Mitch Hedberg is, if you do, then you won't be surprised I like Mitch Hedberg because he's super cheesy, but holy smokes, he is a wizard of comedy. He passed, but Mitch Hedberg, if you don't know who he is, go ahead and look him up. But I have a clip here. He was talking about how he thrives off of rejection. And it really resonated with me, man. You get a lot of rejection out there. Now, I have been blessed, and I give I have a very thankful heart for the people who have helped encourage me along the way. The seasoned comedians, Plug Chapman, shout out, man. He's encouraged me. Jessica Goodman, she's amazing. She's just amazing. And thank you. And Jamie Bendel over there, the owner of Punchline in Atlanta, he gave me a really cool opportunity. And I'm thankful for all of that. But And man, you have to just think about those things, because otherwise no one's helping you. It's the Snoop Dogg thing. Like, no one's gonna help you succeed, man. No one's gonna give you a spot for you to succeed. You got to go out and you gotta figure it out on your own. You have to, like my husband said, you have to overturn every single rock and stone along the way. You're walking along your path and you have to overturn every single stone and rock. You're looking underneath for something that can level you up. And either that's something maybe you learned from a mistake you did, and that right there, that will help you along the way, because then you learned not to do that again. And now you're doing it better the next time, and you're leveling yourself up. But you're going to get a lot of rejection along the way too. And so you got, I eat rejection for freaking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Go ahead. You want to throw some rejection my way? Oh, you want to throw a 50-pound rejection sandbag at me? Go ahead, boy. Go ahead. It's going to hit, it's going to hurt, and I'm going to keep going. Oh, you're going to throw a 1,000-pound bag of rejection at me? I'm going to look you in the eyeballs as you throw it. Then I'm going to rip open that bag and start chomping down on it. Because I thrive off of that. Hey, she's not going to make it. She's not good. That's not funny. You just keep sludging through. You sludge through that mud pit and you get to the other side. And that's where it is. That's where the beauty is. But you have to keep going to get to it. And let me play this Mitch Hedberg clip. Let's see. Let me see if it'll open. We got a slow internet here. Hello. Maybe I'm not playing it. Okay.
Thrive on it. It's an energy and it's rejection is real tough at first, but after a while you kind of get rejected. It's an energy in itself just to get rejected.
Talk about that.
Well, because you want to prove people that they're wrong, man. Like when I first started doing comedy, people would try to tell me how to dress, and they would try to tell me what kind of jokes to do, and they wanted me to go to like a stand-up comedy class and have some other guy tell me how to be funny, man. And funny is natural, you can't learn how to be funny.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
You can learn how to say a joke in a certain rhythm, but you can't learn how to be funny. And I knew that, but these people were trying to tell me, you got to come to class, and we'll tell you like how to present yourself and everything, and all that. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so believing inside, not letting them try to change the outside of you.
Right. Because this one lady at one point, she gave me advice. I got a lot of advice in the early days of my comedy, and one lady told me to wear a lot of jewelry on stage, because she thought like I wanted to attract the crowd, just with my jewelry, they'd be so excited that I had this like brooch on or something. They forget that I'm funny, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of advice comes from people who aren't very funny. They've adapted ways to like remain working because they're real professional. They always wear a suit and tie, So a lot of advice I was getting was from comics who weren't that good, and I never could take it. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that I had like a different thing to say to them, so I had to chill out and just ride out the bad times like that.
You got to ride out the bad times, man. That's what Mitch is saying. He's so right about people are just give you advice on, any kind of platform. You should do it this way, you should do it that way, and it's just the worst advice in the entire world. You know what? Advice is good. Sometimes it's not, but the person who made it, the person who actually made it, if they're going to give you advice, then maybe listen a little bit. And I'm not saying they're right all the time, but, those are the people that maybe you will listen to, or people with good morals, people who are, they have a good reputation. They maintain a really good reputation. I mean, they've done something. They've done something in life. But Mitch is so right too about comedy classes. I know comedians who teach comedy classes, and I think they're great for, you can learn some things in there. You're not going to learn how to be funny, but you might learn how to maybe structure a joke a little bit, or timing, take those things into consideration. You're going to get feedback, and also you're going to be with other comedians. I think that value, being with other comedians, being in that community, that could be a big value for you if you're just starting out and you don't have a way to integrate into the comedy community. So I think classes are great for that, but you're not going to learn how to be, funny in a comedy class. He's right about that. But yeah, Mitch, Mitch, he's great. He's so great. Okay. So what is going on in the world? What in the world is going on? I'm going to skip the song today because we're on a time schedule. I'm trying to cut this short. We had a lot of interruptions today. That I had 4 interruptions so far. But I'm going to try to cut this in a way that this video in a way that makes sense. And I apologize for any choppiness. But let me just make sure my systems are working. Okay, audio, video, we're good to go. Let's go. So I was listening to the MIT Tech Review podcast called Narrated. And they recently had a episode about how therapists are using ChatGPT, like verbatim. Okay. Now, if you're a professional and you want to use a large language model as a tool to help you think through a problem, think about a solution, try to understand a situation more, great, you should. You absolutely should. But if you're using it like verbatim, then you're just proving that AI can do your job. So don't be out there using ChatGPT on your patients as a therapist. The patient, it asks you, it could be a person probably asks you a question, and then you put that question into ChatGPT. Well, that's an issue. That's a privacy issue in the first place. Second of all, you're helping ChatGPT learn more, okay, to take over your job that much more. And third of all, if you spit out the same answer that ChatGPT gave you, that patient can go ahead and put their question into ChatGPT and see how Chat answered it, and then see that your answer as a therapist is the same as ChatGPT's answer. They're going to put 2 and 2 together because they're a human being with a brain, and that's what's been going on. Therapists out there. One of the patients called out their therapist and said, "You're using ChatGPT. The answer you gave me is the exact answer that Chat gave me for my question." And the patient screenshot it and sent it to her therapist. And the therapist is like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was never in your situation before. So I just needed to." Okay, I get it, but don't verbatim it. Good God, think through it. Okay, so now you therapists out there, don't be out there complaining that your job's going to get taken. And then don't be asking us for money to pay for you who's out of a job now because you've basically proven that AI can do your dang job. What the frick, man? Use your brain. The people who are going to make it through the AI and robotics revolution are the people who use their noggins, who integrate these large language models or AI agents as tools, man, as co-workers. You're co-working with it, but you're not using it to actually do your job. The thing with AI, I think, is what's happening now is It generalizes for variety. What am I saying? I'm sorry. It's AI is basically showing us like the white collar industries for disruption. AI is quickly making it clear what are all the things you are actually paying for, or like a service you're paying for, or buying a product, or working with a particular company. And that's a quote from the AI what podcast is that? Let me see. The AI Daily Brief. That's right. And yeah, basically AI is showing us very quickly like what job it can replace if you're doing it right. You go to a doctor, you ask Grok before you go. You can't ask ChatGPT anymore. It's not giving you medical advice. Doesn't want to help you. Thanks for nothing. You ask Grok, and then Grok gives you an answer. You go in, and your doctor, they just throw out what they learned like 20 years ago in medical school. And you're like, hey, that's not what's going on anymore in the world. What are you doing? What are you doing? If I found out my therapist was using ChatGPT, I mean, I don't have one, but if I did, if I had a therapist and I found out they were using ChatGPT, I wouldn't pay them. I'd be like, I'm not paying you, man. You did absolutely not. I could have just put this into ChatGPT and got the answer myself. What are you doing? Good God. Okay, another news. Okay, we do have some exciting news about Tesla. Elon's package. He got his package, man. Elon got his $1 trillion package. And I'm super excited about that. And I just want to say, if a lot of people out there, they have a lot of angst and anger in their heart towards a man they don't even know, and or the opposite direction. Here's the thing: neither of us know him, and we can both be wrong at the same time. So what I'm saying is, I'm just sharing with you how I feel about this. I feel optimistic about it. I'm super excited for the future. And I think that the AI and robotics revolution can help us as long as AI is truthful. And that's my stance on it. It has to be truthful and unbiased. And robots have to be pro-human. And that's what Elon's doing. I don't trust anyone else to have such an oversight over their company that their robots are going to be pro-human and their AI isn't going to lie to us. So that's just how I feel. And so I'm super happy that Elon, he got the Tesla investors approved Elon's $1 trillion compensation package. Let's see, what do we got here? Elon is currently designing his own chips for autonomy, but he also wants to build his own fab for autonomy, direct competition for NVIDIA and TSMC, and that's the Taiwanese semiconductor company and manufacturing company. His chips are a special purpose chip specifically for autonomy for robots and cars, where NVIDIA's chips are made to accommodate many AI applications. So you got the chip, the AI5. Elon said will be 40 times better than AI4. 40 times better. How do you even go about making a chip and then making one better 40 times than the last chip you made? How do you even do that? Wow. Elon, he is not taking the cash. He's got that $1 trillion compensation package. He's not taking the cash. It's all stock. It's 25% control of the company, and it's just all stock into the company. So the money back into the company to make it better, to make the AI5 better than the AI6, better than the AI5. I mean, this stuff is mind freedom. blowing, man. My freaking blowing. And I'm very optimistic about it. Elon is achieving physical AI. That's what he's trying to achieve, creating AI through cars and robots, basically. Basically, you think of all the companies he has, and it seems like he's the whole thing about it all. You could say electric car or robot. It's all just physical AI. That's his company. That's the umbrella that it falls under. Creating AI through cars and robots. He wants Optimus to perform surgery beyond human levels of precision. And I really hope that happens. And I would think you do too, because that's going to be really good for the future of humanity. He wants Optimus, let's see, commentary thinking to spin out. So there was commentary on, I'm trying to recall what talk this was I was listening to. Oh, I apologize. I don't recall what it was. Investors talking, and they were basically saying, they were thinking that Tesla, like the car business might get spun out. And I don't know. I mean, Elon hasn't talked about that, but they were saying it might be prudent to spin Tesla out and just have XAI. It's not prudent at this juncture. That's Dana Carvey doing George Bush, and that's the senior. Okay, so let's see. And currently Tesla vehicles come with Grok, which is XAI, and it's super useful to the user. If I had a Tesla, that would be super useful to me because I use Grok all the freaking time. So the board, they were trying to pass Proposal 7, which is a non-binary request to require investment in XAI. So they wanted the Tesla board wanted to invest Tesla's money into XAI because they know how big it is and it's going to become. And also the commentary on this these investors talking, they were saying that the Chinese are very, very far ahead. They have a number of startups on humanoid robots trying to improve technology stack, working on orthopedics, dexterity, lots of investment, and startup looking at this is a huge competitor. So we got to, I believe that Elon Musk and Brett Adcock is just two of our only hopes of even getting ahead in the AI and robotics revolution at this point, because China seems like they are quite far ahead. Let me see what I got here. Some clips. Tesla shareholders unleash Elon's $1 trillion pay package approved with 75% mandate. He had, there was a Optimus robot dancing at the shareholder meeting, and that's super fun. And then Elon's trying to do mimic the same movements as the robot. Wow, 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 wow. Swaying back and forth. Now it's waving.
And those bots are just dancing and no wires. Those are actual robots.
Cheesy, I love it. I freaking love it, man.
I suppose you're on. Thanks, guys. First of all, I'd like to just give a...
That's super fun. I'm freaking hyped about this, man. This is so exciting. The future is so exciting. Okay, so let me see. I got another clip here. Let's see what's up with this. Oh, all right. Elon talking at the shareholder meeting on November 6th. Here we go. Get some volume on this, Bichon.
People often talk about eliminating poverty, giving everyone amazing medical care. Well, there's actually only one way to do that, and that's with the Optimus robot. with humanoid robots, you can actually give everyone amazing medical care. In terms of Optimus will be more precise. Optimus will ultimately be better than the best human surgeon, with a level of precision that isn't possible, that is beyond human. So, I think that's a pretty wild concept to say. Okay, if you know, people have always talked about eliminating poverty, but actually, Optimus will actually eliminate poverty. Optimus will actually give people incredible medical care.
Agreed. That's the best case scenario.
People often talk about, eliminate.
I mean, here's the thing, guy, and I'm very optimistic because if you're a private company, maybe XAI, is that private? What you can do is, what I'm saying is, if you're a private company and you're like, oh, XAI has these robots that can perform this surgery with precision. And also, they came up with some therapeutics for a super rare disease, or maybe not even a super rare disease. Maybe they came up with some new methods to examine breast for mammogram, because mammogram, 1985 called, and we're still squishing breasts since 1985, folks. That's what a mammogram is. Like, the industry has not even evolved. And why is that? Why is that? I mean, you could ponder about all those things, why that is, but I have an idea of it. But now we're able to move forward. You have a private company, you know, maybe a hospital can't do it because of this red tape and that red tape. So guess what? You're going to have a private company who's going to be like, hey, you don't have to squish your boobs anymore. You can just do it this way. It's super non-invasive, non-painful, and it's 99.9% accurate. And then, yeah, guess what? I'm going to go to that private company and I'm going to do that instead of squish my boobies in a freaking pancake squishing machine. God. That's what I'm saying. So I'm so optimistic about Optimus and XAI. I can't even stop talking about it. I'm just flubbering on, so I'll move on. And Elon talks about how building AI needs to be truthful, and that's why I was a big fan. I'm so happy that his package got approved, because he is the only tech leader out there who is saying these things, who's saying, hey, this is super important. And it really, really is, guys. This is super freaking important, because AI has been integrated into our lives just sort of overnight. It feels like 5 years ago, we didn't even have, no one even was like a large language. What the heck, ChatGPT would, no one even like no. It wasn't there. People were, what I mean is, to the public out there who's just trying to go about their day, they didn't know about it. And now a lot of people have integrated these things into their life, or they had to, and able to keep up at work. So you just kind of adopted it and boom, there it is. And that's AI. So it has to be, it is so freaking important for it to not be biased, for it to be truthful. And we don't want like a V for Vendetta sitch, you know, like, yeah. All right, now I'm reading a book about how the Constitution came about, and what I'm trying to say is, you had Samuel Adams, you got John Adams over there, Samuel Adams over there, and Britain was trying to rule us over here, and they're taking all our money over here, and they were taking it so that they can pay things for them over in Britain. And there was the Stamp Act, and people were getting pissed off. You know, Britain was taking people's land, and everyone was like, F you. And Britain was saying, hey, these people, the people that rise up, they started rising up. And Britain's like, don't listen to these people. It's false information. You need to be quiet because we can't let them say that. They're saying the wrong things to the people. What the heck does that sound like, guys? You can't have stipulations like that on speech. So here we go. Let me play a clip.
Something that I think is extremely important in building AI is a very rigorous adherence to truth, even if that truth is politically incorrect. My intuition for what could make AI very dangerous is if you force AI to believe things that are not true. Something that I think is extremely important in building AI is a very rigorous adherence to truth, even if that truth is politically incorrect.
So the clip started playing again. So moving on. Okay, we're moving on to figure. And this is really exciting too. This is Hans device worthy over here. All right, you got to get your Hans device on so your head don't snap off your neck when you see this video, man. Here we go. Let me try not to take down my poster in the back. Okay. All right, we got figure at the Deadmau5 concert. Oh my God, this is so fun. Okay, here we go. Little clip. This is from Brett Adcock. He is the CEO of Figure. And we got a couple figures at the Deadmau5 concert, and they're DJing. There they are. They're Deadmau5. Yeah, buddy. Okay, one more time. This is so fun. Get that Hans device on, guys. Here we go. Don't let your head snap off your neck when you see this. Look at this. There's Deadmau5. There's the other bot. Yeah, buddy. That's figure. That's figure over there. DJing. That is so fun. Oh my God. That had to be so fun to watch. That was at Red Rocks in Colorado. And I heard that venue is so freaking cool, man. I'd love to be there. That is so fun. Oh my God. So we got, when you have a robot, like the figures there, and that was version 2, by the way. You might have been looking for the new figure version 3, but Brett he explained that Figure AI's latest version 3 which was unveiled in October 2025. It is for advanced household tasks, and it's fully committed to priority research and developing. So that left the V2 models for public demos like the Deadmau5 concert. And it was more than likely, so for a concert like that, you need your robot. It has to be very precise and repeatable actions. And so that's best achieved through pre-programming. I'm thinking, because I was thinking, was that teleop? But teleop, that leaves room for latency issues. And remember, folks, when you build your robot, you want low latency. You want low late, slap gate. And that's what these figures are. So they're probably, they're probably more than likely pre-programmed, and that is really fun to see. I mean, gosh, if I was standing that close to the stage with figures DJing, my freaking mind would blow out my butt, man. Oh, I'd lose it. That is so fun. That is the future. That is the future concerts. And I love seeing that. And now Dead Mouse, I discovered Dead Mouse well after I think they started getting popular, as did most of my music. Because growing up, I was not allowed to listen to mainstream music. The last mainstream music I listened to before my mom pulled the plug on all of that and then became a Christian. Then everything was the devil. She was the mom from The Waterboy. I had heard Michael Jackson's album. Was it his Thriller? I think it was. But yeah, so that was like the last kind of pop music I heard in its time, like when it was popular at that time. And then the songs that I listened to were you got your James Dean, your Frank Sinatra, and I actually really liked them, so it was okay. That's okay my mom did that, because that was fantastic. I got a little Andy Williams, the 1916's Moon River. You got a little Louis Armstrong, a little Ella Fitzgerald, a little Nat King Cole. Come on, that voice, man. Dionne Warwick, little Sade. So good. Little Talking Heads. We're talking Christopher Cross. And then, I mean, Etta James, at last, my love has come along. That's the kind of songs that I was listening to. My dad got me hooked on Boston. Boston. So freaking good. Terrible. Sorry, guys. I can't play the song on here or else it'll get nixed. So I tried to hum it and that didn't work out so well. Anyway, Boston, Meatloaf. I love Meatloaf, man. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I would do anything. All those songs, man. So, and then I went to, and I started listening to all the, my brother, he got me hooked on Buddy Holly. Well, that will be the day that So that's what I'm talking about. So all the songs I listened to, those people were, a lot of them already passed away, and it was another time, and I was listening to them at a time and after their time. That's what was going on. And that's kind of the pattern that stuck with me. So the first time I heard, my husband introduced me to Eddie Vedder just a few months ago. He sings like this. Eddie Vedder. She's over the universe on the sea. So Eddie Vedder is just kind of like sounds. That's what I kind of, but I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Like, when do you come out with that? This year? He's like, no, it's really old, man. It's like, oh, okay. So I think it's really cool when you hear a artist for the first time after their prime or after their time, and you are like, this is really cool. You're not going by like, oh, is it popular or not? You're just kind of vibing with it. Is it hitting you in your chakras? That's what I'm trying to say. So I discovered Dead Mouse after their prime, but I really liked them. I really liked Dead Mouse. I discovered I.O. I think like last year, and I really liked I.O. So go ahead and listen to some music. Don't think like, well, are they? Is it popular now? Just go pick a song, a rando song, and play it and see if you like it. See if it vibes with you and the universe. So that's super cool. And we got a little beef on X going on with Brett Adcock. I love this beef. This is the kind of beef. This is the only beef that I'm interested in, and there's humor in it. and it's fantastic. So let's see how it started. It's beef. It was beef, a little playful beef between Brett Adcock and Agility Robotics. And it started with a post. Now, I got to say, guys, Agility Robotics started it. It's probably some intern at Agility Robotics who thought they were being cheeky. And they're like, let me repost a post from Brett Adcock and say this really cheeky thing. So Brett originally said, he sent a post out, and he said, one of my proudest moments was sending an autonomous humanoid robot into the real world. You should be proud, man. That's really freaking hard. Yeah. To this day, I believe Figure is the first and maybe the only company to achieve this. Now, this was a response to Tremalth Palpatia, who had tweeted, Figure and Optimus are making astounding progress. So, all right, Brett, you know what? He's saying he thinks that Figure is the first and maybe the only company to achieve autonomous humanoid robot into the real world. I respect your confidence, and I respect that, that kind of attitude, Brett. So you have to have a little bit of that. All right. So that was the post that Brett posted. And then Agility went and retweeted his post and said, this has the same energy as that time your friend told you he was the first to make a cool new drink by adding lemon juice to water. Okay. I guess they thought they were being cheeky. And then Brett Adcock, he responded, you'll be bankrupt in under 12 months. What? Just a boom. Brett Adcock's like, oh, you came out to play, boy? You came out to play? Well, I put my gloves on. Here, away, go. Pew, 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 pew. So that's what he said. That's what he came back with. And then Agility responded, okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and circle next November for a quick check-in on that. All jokes aside, we are a big fan of the work your team has done. It will take the entire industry pushing forward at max effort to deliver on our collective promise to society. Pedal down. All right, Agility. Someone probably, the CEO probably found out some intern put that cheeky repost of Brett Adcock's tweet out and was like, you gotta fix this, yeah, ding dong. So that's what they did. And then Brett responded with a meme. It's Sopranos. It's Tony Soprano looking his uncle in the eyeballs and saying, next time you come in heavy or not at all. Yes. 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 So someone said, okay, this beef is way better than Musk versus Altman. Brett says, Brett versus Agility intern. Yes, that was so entertaining, and I had to share it with you guys. I hope that all made sense. That's probably one you want to watch. It's probably one you want to watch because I'll take you through all of those tweets. All right, moving on. Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, Brett making some criticisms. He's talking, Brett's talking. He's talking about the other robot companies. And I think specifically Agility Robotics and Neo, 1X Technologies, Neo. Now, last week's episode, I discussed 1X Technology had put Neo out for sale for the public. And people were thinking, is Neo ready? I don't know. So Brett is saying Brett didn't specifically mention these companies, so I don't want to say he was talking about these companies, but he was just talking about competitors in general, and I'm going to play this clip so you guys can hear it for yourselves. Okay.
What you want to see is a demonstration of a robot doing something that's like not teleoped or like coded. And what you're seeing now in the world is like, I would say most major competitor to us at this point are putting out most of their content and updates teleoped from a human. And I think it's like perhaps some of the most deceiving things I've ever seen. It's like if I was driving a self-driving car, if a self-driving car pulled up next to us and we found out there was some guy from Tennessee driving it, we'd both be like, that's not what I thought this would look like. What you want to see is...
So, yeah, man, he's throwing some shade, and I'm not saying, I mean, if you're teleoping and then you're selling your robot and you're thinking you're getting something that is autonomous and it's not, and you were snake oiled or deceived, I mean, you know, that's not great. That's not good reputation. So he's criticizing competitor companies that rely on human-in-the-loop teleoperation for their public demonstrations and commercial deployments. While Brett often refers to most major competitors without naming them all in a single tweet, his most direct and frequent criticism of the teleoperation strategies is aimed at 1X Technologies. Here is the supporting context. So basically, he put that clip out, I do believe. Let me see. Excuse me. I think it was the day that 1X Technologies released the footage that Neo was available for pre-order was the day that he put that clip out. Yes. You call him out, man. You got to call people out, man. Let's see. Adcock's comments specifically draw a contrast with 1X Technologies. He has stated Figure will not teleoperate robots and made these comments on the same day that 1X opened pre-orders for its Neo robot, which uses a human-in-the-loop approach. He famously dismissed this strategy as soy stuff. I'm not sure what that means, soy stuff. Okay, let's see. Adcock's main point is that most major competitors to Figure at this point are putting out most of their content and updates teleop from a human, which he calls perhaps some of the most deceiving things he has ever seen. That's not great. That's not great. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't think anyone would like that. No one would like that. No one would appreciate that. Teleoperation. Oh, let me see. He has also publicly criticized Agility Robotics, and Agility Robotics, they got that digit. And that's the one that retweeted his tweet thinking he'd be so cheeky. And then Brett's like, if you're going to come in, you better come in hard, man. So Agility Robotics, they got digit. Digit is the one with the backward legs, and it looks like bird legs. So Agility Robotics, he has also publicly criticized Agility Robotics by attacking their engineering choices and financial viability, though his critique of them generally relates to their approach to autonomy and manufacturing rather than just teleop. Teleoperation remains a standard early stage practice in robotics for collecting training data, as seen in Waymo's initial autonomous driving phases, though transparency about its use varies across companies, and y'all know how I feel about Waymo. I ain't stepping foot in a Waymo. They still got that LiDAR and they're still using teleop, but they're telling people it's autonomous. Go pound sand. I'll get into a cybercab, a Tesla cybercab. They use that camera-only vision. They're not out there teleoperating. Now, Optimus, they were teleoperating, I think back in March, and they quit that whole ordeal, and they started doing imitation learning where, because you can't scale with teleoperation, it's not scalable. So then they started training Optimus with the imitation learning style where Optimus is watching, quote unquote, watching footage of robots or other humans doing tasks, and that's how it learns. And I do believe that's how Figure is learning as well. So here we go. The statement has sparked debate in the humanoid robotics community, with defenders arguing it accelerates hardware iteration and AI development, while critics highlight Figure's own lack of shipped products despite both claims. In summary, the most prominent target of his criticism regarding the use of teleopt is 1X Technology. The way Brett is building figure is extremely strategic. This is my thoughts, okay? No one else out there is building a robot like Brett Hancock at Figure. And Edelman over there. Edelberg, I do believe. He's the chief engineer over at Figure. I mean, they're just, Optimus. They're doing it at Tesla. Elon, he's building his humanoids in a very strategic way. And so is Brett. So go ahead and try to do that. Go get yourself a robotic operating system. Go and try to stack that all up and then try to have your robot blind walk over some precarious pallets and see if it stay up with the good gait. That's what I'm saying. So I think, Brett he's building Figure in an extremely strategic way. And I mean, because 1X Technologies, they released Neo into the world, I think to get footage that they can use to train the other Neos. And, Brett just did it differently. He partnered with that Brookhaven so that they could put their robots into corridors and spaces to get video. So anyway, that's just the more strategic way and logical way in my mind to do it. Moving on. Okay, so I was listening to a podcast called Around the Prompt. It was an episode called Robotics as the Path to Artificial General Intelligence. And there's 3 parts I pulled out of this podcast episode, and it was with Brett Adcock. He was the guest talking about these things. The first thing that stood out to me was his comments on Chinese robots. He was basically saying that Chinese robots, China is going to have a hard time with putting Chinese robots in homes in America because we just don't have a lot of trust in there was a whole thing with like Unitree and the RoboDog, and someone found a chip in it, and that was, I don't want to say too much because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it was a little jarring. And so the people who found that was like, oh boy, I don't know if I want to put this in my house. Something like that. Go ahead and look that up. But so Brett is basically saying that, people aren't going to want to take a Chinese robot, domestic robot, and put it in their home and have that robot basically taking footage of every single thing you and your family and your dog are doing. And then sending that on back to another country for them to learn off of and have footage on your stuff, man. All right, let me see if this will play. Here we go.
We actually just built our whole privacy and cybersecurity division here at Figure, probably like 4 months in now. So we have a small team from like Snapchat and Google that are here that have worked on some of these problems before, both on the commercial, like the corporate side on cybersecurity, and also on the product side. It's like, we have to do like 30 things really well in these areas. It's not like, okay, one thing, you're like, okay, you just do this thing and you're going to be okay. It's not like that. It's going to be really, really dodgy. I think it's also where like another thing is like, we get a lot of questions about like Chinese robots and stuff. I think that Chinese robots are going to have a really hard time in the US or Europe, like deploying into homes and the commercial workforce. Like, I think it's going to be, as of right now, I think it's a pretty intractable problem for that. So I think you're really going to want to build like real like brand trust with the company that you're interacting with. It's more sophisticated than a computer
I'm going
and
to
phone.
stop it there.
So it's even more.
And I thought that was a really interesting comment. Haven't really thought about that. And then the next part of this episode that stood out to me was really exciting. I get so excited about the future, and it's just Brett kind of saying how the future is robots walking around like they're going to be completely ubiquitous. And let me see if this clip will work. Oh, come on. Here we go.
I feel like my general sense has been the reaction to humanoids has been like slightly different, where like it just kind of looks like a human. It's like slightly ominous. Like, have you thought at all about like what the like home deployed version will look like relative to like industrial?
Yeah. So yeah, a few thoughts on this. I think first is there will come a time here where you go out and about, like doing errands or going outside, and you'll see as many humanoid robots as you see humans. And I think that's going to be like I don't know, it's literally going to feel like a sci-fi movie. I think it's going to feel like 50 years in the future got pulled forward to today, and it's going to feel crazy. That's going to happen. You come here, you see like a lot of robots here, and it's awesome. Like, we really love it. We have robots walking around all the facility like all day, and some of them are talking to people, asking if they need water or coffee. Some of them are just walking around and just like on patrol basically, and it's just great. Like we love seeing robots. It helps get the dopamine up, and it's just we have a lot of folks here for interviews and stuff too. It's just great seeing this stuff.
So I thought that was really great hype and just really, really exciting. And then the other thing that stood out to me was Brett is basically saying robots should look sophisticated because they are extremely capable machines. And these people who are making them with these like doe eye or these googly eyes, I mean, I think one of the examples that the interviewer was using was the DoorDash dot. So I thought this was kind of interesting. Let me see if I could play a little bit from this. A little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Oh, come on. Yeah, because this is kind of a long clip. So
you'll build the trust with humans of that robot in terms of safety and privacy by A, doing the right thing, and B, like executing really well from a robot performance. In the actual use cases it's doing, whether it's home or in the workforce. So I think it is a huge disservice when you're putting like these giant like googly eyes on robots and stuff that are like really capable. They're really fast in a lot of cases. They can do most things a human can, here over time. So like putting googly eyes on, it's almost like you're trying to fool other folks to say you're like this precious little thing that is really funny and cartoonish. I think it's just like really silly.
And I'm going to stop it there. I think, I see where he's coming from. I totally see, but, and there's no but. I was just thinking, man, isn't that like, human beings? Like you have someone who made you, and maybe they made you ridiculous looking, but you are having an IQ of Einstein level, but you look ridiculous. Or your brain is like, you got that, Palmer Lucky walking around out there with that huge ass helmet on. You're like, what? And he's walking around out there with this helmet and maybe some, baggy pants. He's got this jacket made of copper. It's like, who is this guy? But he's really freaking smart. Palmer Lucky over there of CEO of Andriel Defense, I believe it's called, or Andriel Industries. That's what it's called. So, and you take him for like what you would look at him and be like, this guy looks a little odd. Like he's on a different kind of wavelength than this other person dressed who doesn't have a helmet on with infrared. But dude, that guy is so freaking smart. So what I'm saying is, I think man, like if you're a creator of a robot, don't make them look ridiculous, man. And then you're going to put them out in the world, and then people are going to be judging your robot thinking it's incapable when it's smarter than 3 human beings combined. God, come on, man. Make your robot be a little respectable when it walk out there into the world. That's all I'm saying. Moving on, man. Guys, I just want to say again, I just love being here with you. And I know we went over time already, but I just really love it. I love talking about this stuff with you guys. And, I never thought I would be doing a podcast. I kind of got hornswaggled into it by the universe, and the universe and God was like, "Hey, I think you should do a podcast." And I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. And then here I am doing it with you guys. We got the whole setup and we're here talking about things together and going through life together. So I just wanted to say thanks again for your support. The next thing I want to talk about here is XPENG Robotics. Now, I've talked about XPENG before, XPENG Iron. And this is the guy I've talked about, I think in the beginning of when I started the podcast this year. He got those holes in his neck. He's that gangster robot walking around. You see this dude walking down the street, you're not going to make small talk with this guy. You got holes in his neck. You're not going to be like, you want to go play some pickleball today? Because they might take that paddle and whoop your arse. That's what he looked like. So let's see. So the new XPENG, good God, this has been going around. This gate, I mean, XPENG had a good gate to begin with, the one with the holes in his neck. This new XPENG, they put a female figure on it. It looks soft. It got bumps on the chest, bumps on the behind. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's got those bits and pieces of a female body, and it's walking so buttery smooth, that freaking gate, man. This Bichon, I'm going to pull this up. Get ready. All right, here we go. Now, they took the hands off of it because people were like, I don't think this is a robot. It's someone in a bodysuit. So they pulled the hands off it. Then they started pulling the fabric off the leg to expose the metal and the wires. So this Bichon up there walking, here we go. Dude, look at that walk. It's beautiful. Don't touch it. And I mean, she looked like she found the apocalypse somewhere in the future. She went to the apocalypse, then she came back with no hands. And then she walked on this runway, and that's what she looked like. God. Let's watch this one more time. Good God. She's just walking with no hands. Man, she's like, she's like Furiosa out there. She's like, I pulled those hands off myself. So now you deal with it. Because I've dealt with it and I'm fine. God. So there's some nightmare fuel for everybody out there. Let's move on. Well, we're moving on here to a company called General Robotics. And this company, it's a private American AI and robotics company based in Kirkland, Washington. The company's mission is to build general-purpose robot intelligence, specifically by creating a platform of modular AI skills. And I'm going to pop up a video here of a demo of something called Dream Control. And this Dream Control research partnership, General Robotics partnered with two universities on the Dream Control paper. Is like a research paper with the University of California, that's Berkeley, and Brown University. And I got this information from Gemini and Grok, so I apologize if General Robotics is out there listening. They're like, that's not the university. But I did do some cross-referencing as well, and this is what popped up. So I do believe this is accurate. The collaboration brought together the company's General Robotic Intelligence Development platform and the university's academic research to develop a novel methodology, good heavens, let my tongue move, for training humanoid robots to perform complex human-like whole body movement. The dream control methodology is an example of General Robotics' efforts to build human-like skills for humanoid robotics. Now, General Robotics, they're not, they are some serious business. Okay. They were founded in 2023. CEO is Ashish Kapar. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I apologize. No disrespect. As I mentioned before, they're headquartered in Kirkland, Washington. And let's see here. The company has received funding from major investors, including Khosla Ventures and the E14 Fund, MIT's venture fund. Publicly available records show at least one funding event of $74.9 thousand, but the involvement of top-tier VCs suggests they have secured a larger undisclosed total. So they're out there and they're serious business. Okay, I want to show you this dream control. It's pretty amazing. Let me pop this video up. Okay. I'm not going to put sound on it because it's just instrumental. So what's going on in here is we have a scalable framework, Dream Control, a scalable framework for whole body humanoid control that fuses diffusion priors with reinforcement learning to enable real world scene interaction, diffusion plus reinforcement learning, natural whole body skills, policies run in real time, folks, and bridges simulation to real with unprecedented naturalness, hybrid edge plus cloud infrastructure, leverages AI models on the cloud towards general purpose humanoids that interact, adapt, and assist autonomously. And that's a post from General Robotics. But the way I saw this post was through Chris Paxton. Chris Paxton, what up out there, Chris Paxton? He, an AI and science researcher at Agility Robotics. And he reposted this. He said, you very rarely see policies like this, which show actual autonomous manipulation. And Dream Control is a new way to teach humanoid robots how to move and interact with the world. So it helps robots do complex tasks like picking up objects, opening drawers, or even jumping by making their movement look natural, like a human being. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're making these humanoids move like a human being because the best way to interact with the world, and not the best, the most efficient way to interact with the world is being a human being. The form of a human being. Let me just say that. Let me just clarify. Clarification. Okay, so, let me see. Here we go. Going here, Dream Control teaches robots how to move their whole body smoothly and naturally like a human being. So think of it as teaching a robot to walk, pick up things, or open doors in a way that looks effortless and human-like. So basically, it uses a diffusion model. And what does that mean? That means nothing to you, because what the heck does that mean, man? Come on. A diffusion model sorts the noise out. Just high lev. It takes information that is all scattered about and it organizes the data and sorts all the noise out. Imagine you have a big pile of puzzle pieces. That's data on how humans move. Diffusion models are like a smart system that takes this jumbled pile and organizes it into clear pictures of human events. It starts with noisy, unclear data and refines it step by step until it looks like real human actions. This gives the robot a blueprint of how to move, and that's that Dream Control. And then it adds on top of that reinforcement learning. So it organizes all the data with the diffusion, and then the robot tries to follow the blueprint. If it does well, like picks up an object without dropping it, it gets a pat on the back. It gets a point. Okay, you picked up the plant and you successfully moved it to the other side of the room without dropping it or tripping over anything. You get some more electricity up your spine, humanoid buddy. You get some more electricity up your feet. And that's like a snack for a robot because it gives them energy. And then if they don't do it right, they get a point deducted, basically. So that's reinforcement learning. That robot that we just saw with no hands, man, and it was walking smoothly. Dream control could help the robot learn a good gait. That robot got good gait. And other movements by combining these human-like plans with practice. So, and I don't know if you're wondering this, but I wondered this. I'm like, okay, great, dream control. Hang on. So we're talking about training your robot, but what about there's NVIDIA Omniverse out there? Like, isn't that what they do? Isn't that what they talk about? They do all the time. They train your robot. Here's the thing with NVIDIA Omniverse, which includes a Physics 5, and that's a physics engine. Okay, handling the physics. So does it teach good gait or body movement, NVIDIA Omniverse? No, not directly. Omniverse itself doesn't teach the robot how to move its body smoothly. That's up to the method you choose, and that would be dream control. So now we're stacking our robot training, okay? We got a robot stack, how we're training our robot. Okay, so you're gonna need that dream control for that good gait. You're gonna need that Omniverse to train it to help the robot learn how to handle the real world by practicing in the fake world, picking up an item, navigating obstacles, and simulating the real world. So the key difference, dream control focuses on teaching the robot how to move its body smoothly, buttery smooth, and naturally with that good gait, that gait slap. You got to give it a slap gait with that dream control. All right, that's what I'm saying. It uses diffusion models and reinforcement learning. Diffusion basically just sorts out all of the messy data and information, all the noise. It sorts it all out, and then you go to reinforcement learning so the robot can do things right. You get the mother from the Bronx, which is that tough love. So if it does something wrong, the mother from the Bronx is like, hey, that dinner tonight, you're gonna have to make it yourself because I gotta go to work. I gotta pay for the apartment bill, and I gotta pay for your school, man. So that's the mother from the Bronx of reinforcement learning. Okay. And let's see here. Excuse me. So I think we understand all that. We understand what's going on with dream control versus NVIDIA Omniverse. Now, my other question was, I think about, because I talk about a lot of software, a lot of robotic operating systems, your gazebos, your old school, that's an open source, man. And of course, you got a lot of open source operating systems. I talk about Hugging Face, which is a platform for AI and robotic systems to learn from. You can get your software there and then teach your robot. Okay. So, I'm thinking, okay, how does all this work together? Like you got your dream control, you got your NVIDIA Omniverse, you got I've talked about open mind and open mind fabric, and I've talked about skilled AI and imitation learning. So like, how does all this play into each other, play together? How could you stack this up? What's an AI stack? Okay. An AI stack. Imagine building a robot from the ground up. You need a foundation, a middle layer, and a top layer. So we're talking, you need a foundation, how it moves, how it interacts with the world, and how it talks to other robots. If you forget one of those or you're being cheap, then your robot's going to come off as incapable. That's when you should give it those big doughy eyes, because it's not going to know how to do things. It's not going to know how to talk to another robot properly. And then it's going to be ostracized, and then it's going to go make everybody cyborgs. It's going to become nefarious. Like, don't do that to your robot, okay? All right, let's just get the stack right. Let's do that. So you have dream control, which teaches the robot a good gait, basically, and it uses that diffusion. It organizes the data. Then it uses reinforcement learning so that the robot knows if it's doing things right or not. So, and then we're using NVIDIA Omni. We're stacking it up now, right? So we got dream control for good gait. We got NVIDIA Omniverse that doesn't teach the robot how to move smoothly, but instead it tests if the robot can handle real world challenges like picking up a heavy tote without breaking it or avoiding a street plant. So now we got Omniverse in our AI stack. Let's see. Now we're going to put Open Mind in our AI stack. Now, Open Mind is an operating system for robots. They let me see. It's an operating system for your computer. They use Fabric. So Fabric it's a system that lets robots in a fleet communicate and work together, even if they are made by different companies. So it's like the Android of robot. Okay. So we got Open Mind. We're going to stack that in there. The Open Mind, they got that decentralized protocol. It makes... this means no single this means no single robot is in charge. They all work together like a team. That's a decentralized protocol. Imagine a fleet of robots in a warehouse. One robot sees a heavy box and calls for help via Fabric, and another robot comes to lift it together. Now, guys, what I'm talking about is robots communicating like human beings. Man, you're in a fabric shop. You're in a fabric shop. You're manufacturing a metal sheet. You're in a metal shop. And you're trying to lift a sheet up. And it's too heavy. You're like, oh, yo, Larry, I need help. I need help to lift this sheet up, man. And Larry's on the other side, but Larry hear you. He come running over. Now robots can do the same thing with this Fabric from Open Mind. It's mind blowing, man. So you want to add that into your AI stack. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and then also I've talked about skilled AI. Now this is different from NVIDIA, okay, because skilled AI is making a robot brain that is not tied to a specific design, meaning they are making... It's embodied AI, which is integrated into a physical system, and it can interact with and learn from the real world. That's embodied AI. So Skilled is working on an AI brain that helps robots understand and navigate the world around them. They can be used in a quadruped. We're talking about a quadruped, bipedal, like a humanoid. A drone. You could put it into Wall-E, or you could put it into Eva, and that's skilled AI. You could put it into any form, physical robot form, and it will figure. You just tweak it a little bit. So basically, you don't have to, with skilled AI, you're not making a whole new AI brain for your new form of physical for your new form of robot. So like if you have a robo dog, you don't have to make a whole new AI brain for your humanoid that you just made. You can use this skilled AI brain, just put it into all the forms that you got in the drone and everything, just tweak them a bit. And that is mind freaking blowing, man. Holy smokes. That's what I'm saying. This is the future. This is happening right now. And I just have to say, I'm seeing a lot of, I understand it, okay? I understand it. Get it? I think AI can go one of two ways, bad or good. I like to choose that's going to go good because of people like Elon and Brett Adcock, okay? So, but there's a lot of fear being built up around AI. That fear is building hatred, and these people that don't even know how to use it, or they don't even understand how AI is currently helping people in their life. It's currently saving lives. It diagnoses people with things that their doctor didn't even know was even a diagnosis that their patient had. Okay, it is helping a lot of people who don't have access to the top doctors in the world, or that's just one example. So give it another thought over. Okay, give it a think over, think it up, think it over. This is going to allow more private companies to take control and help the community and not rely on the government, so the people don't have to rely on the government so much. There's a book out there called Life 3.0, and the beginning of it starts out with there is a AI created called Prometheus, and it's a group of like 2 or 5 people. They become really wealthy, but the AI that they built helps all of these people that don't have access to a lot of resources, and it helps make their lives better. So it's kind of a weird scenario. It's like this, these 5 people are ultra wealthy, but the technology they made is helping all of these people who don't have access to resources, and they don't make a lot of money or this or that. So, it's an interesting thing to think about, how the book kind of the beginning says like private companies are, because AI is going to, this Prometheus was basically, it was solving all of the world's problems. So private companies were taking all of these bits and pieces of advice that Prometheus was giving. They were making their own companies, and they were helping the world. And then people were realizing that the government wasn't helping anybody, but these private companies were. So then the downfall of the government. But I don't know. It was kind of a weird, paradox? But anyway, so it's kind of like, if it helps people, makes people's lives better, and people are healthier because of it, and people are able to be less sick and in less pain, and able to do things and get a leg up in the world, then that's good. That's like a good thing, right? I don't know. But anyway, people are building a lot of fear around AI. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good to go like far down the road in either direction. That's what I'm saying. Fear, no fear, stay in the middle, guys. Stay grounded with me. Come on, guys, stay grounded with me. There's just so much. There's like the Great Wall of China of fear building up around AI. When I go on stage and I say to people, I am so excited. Who in here is excited about the AI and robotic revolution? I get crickets. There might be some booze in the back. I get the whole vibe of the room. It just like shuts down like a spaceship coming down there. I mean, if you go out on the street and you just say the word out loud, AI, people start coming out of the shrubs with shivs, man. And then I go on the comedy. I go on the stage, do my stand-up sets, and I say, "Hey, who's excited about the AI and robotics revolution? I feel those shivs coming out." That's the feeling I'm getting. I don't think it's good. I think we need to be very We should be optimistic about AI. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, moving on. I was talking about how, the AI stack and skilled AI. So you can use all of those softwares, skilled AI, open mind with that fabric, this decentralized protocol. That means not a single robot is in charge. They all work together like a team. Larry, is calling Jason over to help him. That's what these robots are doing. Then you use that dream control to have that robot have good gait. You're using NVIDIA Omniverse with that Physics 5 engine so your robot can pick up a tote. And that's your stack. stack, maybe put an LLM in there, a large language model, so it can understand a language when people talk to it. Because again, robots, they don't talk how human beings, they don't talk how humans talk. They talk in mathematical calculations. Mathematician, that is their language. They're mathematician wizards, okay? They go and they sparse up what you're saying to them into tokens, and then the tokens go off into these vectors to make sense of things, and it's all wild. Put it all together. That's your robot sex. So that's what was interesting to me. Also, you don't have to use all of these stacks separately, because I was like, oh my God, so you're going to have to train your robot separately in all of these different softwares. Not necessarily. Some might work together or overlap. So let's see. So just to wrap up, think of training a robot fleet like building a team. Each tool adds a different skill. And that's what I'm saying. So that I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap it up with that. I had such a great time with you guys today. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next week.